Hello everyone, I'm Alistair and welcome to the Timberborn to beginner guide or tips or whatever you want to call it. This is one of your first games, so we are going to start a new game as a Folktales next. Here are these three maps with the green leaves. These are the beginner friendly maps, so you should be choosing one of those to succeed. I will go with the waterfalls. It's a smaller map and it is one of my favorites. So I highly recommend to picking only one of these three if you really have a trouble to survive in a Timberborn. Next, our difficulty. There are three: easy, normal or hard. Or if even if easy is too hard for you, you can even still customize it. Or if you just don't want to play with Badtides or with Droughts, that's perfectly fine. So you can customize it as much as you can and as much as the game lets you. So I just go with the default easy. So let's start. The first thing, after you are loaded into a game, you should pause the game so you have plenty of time, because time is of the essence. First things first, what we need to do is to secure some water, chop down some trees so we can build stuff, and food. And as soon as we have enough wood, we should build the dam. The sooner the better, because otherwise, when the drought will come, all this will dry out, including our crops. So you need to build paths everywhere for them to go. They can travel a little bit of distance without even paths, like chopping down these trees, gathering food and stuff like that, but you need to be connecting all the buildings. So first thing, we need water, we need wood. We don't have any wood. We need lumberjack flag, so let's build two of them. And you can see right here how many beavers we have unemployed. That's 6 beavers. And when you're building these lumberjack flags, you must not forget to mark the tree cutting area, just like it says here. It's down here. So we need to mark all the trees that we want to chop down. Even these dead trees. Yeah, they are useful to us. Okay, let's play on slow. And don't forget to increase your workers in a district. That's your builders. Let's increase that to 4 so they can build it as fast as possible. So we have some food for the start. So next, let's build at least one water pump. One should be enough for the beginning. One water pump that needs to be built, and at least one small tank. And you click on this big question mark and you will put it in water. So the most important thing in Timberborn is water. Without water there is no food, and without food and water, no beavers. For now, don't bother with the houses at all. We don't need them at the beginning. And our builders are not doing anything because we don't have enough logs. So let's add a couple of them back here. I still have 2 unemployed. So let's have 2 more lumberjacks here so we can gather wood a little bit faster. And I recommend to increasing your working hours for the beavers up here in the right upper corner to at least 18 hours, at least from the beginning. Next, after the pump is ready, we will start pumping water. You will need to move some beavers up and down. You can always, remove them with clicking on the minus symbol. You need to be careful to not get rid of all of the trees before you get to the forester. And for the forester, first we need to research that. We need science points so we can unlock the forester, and we need planks to build it. So planks, we can make those straight away without any research. So let's put down one lumber mill. And that needs to be powered by horsepower or beaver power. I have installed a mod in a game that just changes this horsepower to BP, HP to BP. It's just a cosmetic. We can either build it on a river and build a water wheel next to it, but I prefer this, even if it takes one of the beavers, because this needs to be powered by the beaver. But it doesn't matter, because we will not be running it for long. We just need 7 planks for the forester, but this is not the highest priority. You see, the water pump is ready, so let's take one of the builders out of the district. Yes, and he started working here. We can even increase this workplace priority. This is on the highest, so there will always be someone working here as soon as the other workplaces are a lower priority. Next, we really need an inventor. We need to start gathering science as soon as possible. We need to be prepared before that first drought. And meanwhile they are building this, let's place the gatherer's flag. Gatherer's flag will be collecting all these blueberry bushes that are our first food. And without them they can't reproduce. We want this to be built first before the inventor and other buildings, so let's increase the priority on the construction side to the highest. Let's increase the speed a little bit. So far everything is working. Okay, but we don't have enough workers, so I'm going to take another builder. You can take either one of the builders or pause one of these lumberjacks. You can even pause the whole building with pressing P on your keyboard or pausing it up here by this button. But it is much easier to just use the shortcut P. Okay, our lumber mill is ready, but we don't need it yet. We first need an inventor, so I will prioritize that. Let's pause the lumber mill for now. And we will need some food source. So usually it depends on what difficulty I am playing, because on easy we have a little bit more time before the first round. So maybe I should build the farmhouse first. But we should be perfectly fine with all these berries that we have. So maybe we should start building a dam. And our first dam that we can build in landscaping is this. This is the very basic first dam that it is set height. You can't adjust this one. You can adjust the floodgates that you can research later. And you want to find the narrowest point where to build it. But there isn't that much of a difference between those. Let's even build it here. That should be fine. We will be holding water here because our water source is up here on this hill. So we will try to hold as much water as we can here down in this river. Don't forget to build a road. They will probably be perfectly fine able to reach it, but why not make it easier? And these are quite expensive. It costs 20 logs, so we will need a lot of wood for it. Okay, I need one inventor. So I'm going to pause the gatherer flag because we have plenty of berries. He will not even be collecting anything because he is full, his storage. Maybe I should first build some houses so we can grow population. Because folktales, you only grow your population when you have empty beds. So unoccupied houses. And currently we have none because we have 12 homeless beavers. Each of these lodges cost 12 logs. And it can take 3 beavers. So this will cover our house needs, but to be able to grow we need to have some spare. So let's build another one. And you know what? Let's prioritize the houses. I think we will be fine for a while without the dam. Because 12 beavers is definitely not enough. We can even increase the working hours a little bit more to 20 hours. It doesn't matter really. Now from the beginning, we just need to get stuff done as quickly as possible. But I need to be careful not to use all the wood before we get to the forester. And for a forester we need 60 science and we currently have 15. So this will take a couple of days. If you don't build over these chopped down trees or not destroy them with mag resources for demolition, they will eventually regrow. Probably not as many as before they were here, but they will regrow. As you can see, there are plenty of small trees already growing. So there is still a chance that you will be perfectly fine, even if you chop down all the trees. Just don't build over them. So with the folktales, if you really want to grow quickly, you build bunch of empty houses and over your working hours. That will help too when they have more leisure time, and you will see your population just skyrocket. It's really dangerous, especially from the beginning and even in the later stages of the game, because you can grow too quickly, too much, and you will suddenly run out of food, run out of water. It happened to me many times, so it's nothing really unusual, at least in my playthroughs. Okay, I have 2 unemployed beavers, so I think I will put one more builder and I want another water pump. No, not another water pump. Let's build rather another small tanks for the water. Let's build a couple of them. They are not that expensive. Let's build 2 more. I paused the 3rd one. And before you have any haulers from the hauling post, build your water storages as close to your water pumps as possible, so they don't need to travel the big distances when they are delivering the water. Because when they are having the full storage inside, they will go and deliver that water or any other produce to the storage. Okay, we have enough science to unlock the forester. So we needed only 60, we have 63. So unlock that. We can pause the inventor for now. And let's start building the forester. You can see the radius where he can reach. And you can plant only on these green areas. Here, no trees or food will grow because it is dried out, and this is even contaminated from this bad water river here. So you can't grow anything there. But for forester, to build it, we need those planks. So I need 2 beavers. Let's pause one of these lumberjacks. Anyways, they cut down all the trees here. And let's turn on the lumber mill with the power wheel. We need just 7 planks and then we can pause it again. So let's make those. And another tip is, when you have something like this dried out, try building your houses, industry and other buildings on the dry region, so you can save as much as your green irrigated land for farming and for trees. Especially if you later find out that you need another space for a farm or something and you already built over it, so you need to delete it and move it elsewhere. And you are losing resources like that, because when you delete something, you are not getting the full price for it back. On easy, it is around 90%. If you don't customize your difficulty and don't change it to like 100%. And our dam is almost finished. We just need 2 more blocks and it is done. And we have another unemployed, so maybe add another water pump. And finish that small tank that we were building before that I paused. And for the better movement of your camera, I always go to the settings and hit the unlock camera, because this is the default settings. I think you can't zoom out that much or something. Ah, right, yeah, because if I do this, it will always return me back to that, bird view. And I don't always like that. So it's about your preference, but I'm using this unlock camera. It's really handy. I can keep it like this. And zoom to the oblivion. And we are really running low on trees, but that's fine. As soon as the forester is done, we are good. So next, we need to build a proper farm, because they can't be living on just the, blueberries. I think I will have a forest right here, and I will have some fields here on this side. So I'm gonna build a farm like this for now, so it is not covering that much of the green area. So now we have a forester. Now we can start planting trees. Or forester can plant blueberries or dandelions. Dandelions are used later for decontaminating beavers, and blueberries, these are these bushes that you need for growing your population. And that's the first basic food that you always find. But we want trees, but which tree to plant? For me, I never bother with planting birch, pine, chestnut trees or maple just for logs. I always go for oaks. They take 30 days to grow, but each of them has 8 logs. These others are not as good. So let's plant a bunch of oaks here. I don't mind those pine trees because when they grow up, they get chopped down and I will replant them with the oaks. The other trees are great, like maple, for maple syrup, for maple pastries. You will need them for that, but not for logs. Chestnut trees, the same, you will have them for chestnuts. Pine trees, you will have them for pine resin. And birch trees, they grow really fast. If you need to grow trees really fast, in 9 days, but you will get only 1 log, which is, at least for me, not good. I don't like them, I never use them. I only use birch trees when they are already growing. I will chop them down and replace them with the oaks. I rather wait those 30 days and have a big, really big chunk of logs. So in 27 days you can grow 3 times the birch, but you will get only 3 logs from each tree. But if you grow oaks, you will wait 30 days and you will get 8 logs from each tree. So that's 5 more. But it depends on your preference or what you want to do. And you know what? Let's get rid of these bushes here. Like this. Don't worry, we will replant them further away. We just need to make a little bit more room for our crops. And our dam is ready. So this one is static. You can't change anything about it. It will hold like a half of the height of the water. So it is the basic one. It will do the job. It's good for the start. So we have a farm. Let's now plant some crops. First crops that you want to plant are carrots. Definitely carrots, not sunflowers. Use the carrots. And then when you have like a good amount of food stored, you can go for potatoes. But for potatoes you need another building to process them. You will need a grill. They are really good, but you need to keep in mind to be able to eat potatoes, you need to grill them first. I like to build a storage not too far away from a farm. When I have enough beavers and enough resources, I always like to have 2 of these farms. Because one I can set up to planting, to prioritize planting, and the other one to prioritize harvesting. So that's a more efficient way to do it. But first you need to have enough beavers for that. Even with building this dam, the other important thing with it is that you got access to the other side of the river. And now we have access to these bushes and even more trees. So let's put down 1 lumberjack here and 1 gatherer's flag. And mark these trees for cutting. So this is my usual basic setup for the beginning. And now what I will do is have my storage set up for carrots, grow some food, add another 1 or 2 houses to grow my population, and keep expanding. Let's see if we can survive our first drought. It shouldn't come that soon, considering we are playing on an easy, but let's see. Maybe I will add a few more small tanks. I like to hold as much water as possible. Okay, I'm not really building anything right now. So let me lower the builders to only 2 and employ again the inventor, because we will need more science. Okay, these 2 lumberjacks here have nothing to do in range, because they chop down all the trees. So let's just get rid of them. Yeah, they are now down here. They will be chopping down these trees. And what's up with you? Ah, he has a broken teeth. Okay, so let's go to well-being. And he will need a teeth grindstone, so let's build at least 1 or maybe 2. Next thing that I like to do on this map is, as soon as I have enough logs and this dam built, I want to build another dam here, or maybe research these floodgates and build those there. But to be able to reach those floodgates you need to first research stairs. And the drought is approaching. In 3 days we will have our first drought. And one of the parts of the well-being basic needs is wet fur. So they really love water because obviously they are beavers. You can either in a well-being build them showers or swimming pools or little that it is here. Or when there is some crossing like this one that they need to go on the other side of the river, you can just unlock the stairs, which I can, I have enough science, and you just make a path like this. And then delete this one path, not the dam, just the path, and you essentially force them to go through that water and they will get their wet fur well-being. But you need to be aware that when there is a bad tide and the bad tide is going through your main canal, which is really bad, but if it is the case that it is going through here, you don't want them to be crossing that water, otherwise they will get sick and they will die. Especially in the earlier game, because you will not be able to decontaminate them. Okay, so now they are walking through the water, so you can see their well-being part for the wet fur is increased. And they don't need a shower, little, or anything like that, so they can do it throughout the day while they are working. But not everyone, because not all the beavers need to cross the river, like the farmers. Yep, they don't have a wet fur because they didn't need to cross the river. Now the drought started. The most important thing is to do is pause your pumps. Don't pump throughout your drought, especially when you don't have enough water stored in the river. So that's why we have this storage here, and we try to pump as much water as possible when there is a normal season. If we are starting to go low on water, just unpause one pump or two pumps. It depends on your population and your needs of the water. But always be mindful of that. It happened to me many times that I forget throughout the drought to pause my pumps, and I just dried the whole river and my crops died together with my trees. Especially on the higher difficulties, it's essential to be paying attention. And that's it, drought ended. That was quick, that was just first drought, it was easy, it is supposed to be easy. For the Badtide, that will happen much later on easy difficulties, around cycle 8, cycle 9 it happened last time to me, something like that. And the Badtide will go from the same source as the water. And for a Badtide, you don't want it to go through this your main canal, because it will contaminate all the crops that you have and everything it touches. They will just die almost instantly if the concentration is high enough. So how to deal with the Badtide, especially at this map? Let me show you how I am doing it here on this map. Here is the Badtide already. Not the Badtide, sorry. This is the bad water source from up hills here that are going through this river and out of the map. The one way to do it is to separate this stream. If we have nothing else available, just the floodgates, we can build them here. Closer to this, so it will not contaminate our trees growing here. So we will need some levees and the floodgates. So we will build something like this. And then another one on this side. It's a little bit too narrow, so it will probably get overwhelmed easily. Of course, you must not forget to get rid of this blockage, otherwise it will not work. Okay, let's now see if we can move all that water. See, this is open fully. Let's open that floodgates to 0. And all this water is just going out. So this is how I'm doing it on this map. You don't want the Badtide to go through your main canal. Okay, so Badtide is here. I forced that by the console, but that doesn't matter. So this is the Badtide. Now, instead of water, this bad water will go. So you need to close this gate, or these gates. You need to close them and leave these ones open at height 0. And let's see how it will handle it. It's overflowing here a little bit. You can always add another level or levees to protect everything and be pushing all the water other way around. A little bit of bad tide or bad water mixed with the water doesn't harm you. It's the important is the concentration. If it is this red, the concentration is really high and it will start killing everything it touches. All the plants, trees and stuff like that. If it touches your beavers, they will first become unwell and they will become contaminated. And they will refuse to work and they will be walking really slowly. So this is how I usually deal with the Badtide. And it is working quite well. You just need to find the shortest way possible on any map to get rid of it. And don't let that Badtide go through your main canal when you're having water. Especially when it is going around your crops or covering the paths that your beavers are taking daily. The other, a little bit cheesier way to do it, if you have enough explosives, it's just blast a wide canal, like right here, off to the map, and just send it there. I've done that on a couple of my playthroughs, so you can watch them in a couple of my videos. And it's really fun, and a little bit cheesy way to do it. So these were the really basics. I hope I helped you a little bit to understand how this game works or how to survive the at least couple of first cycles, the humble beginnings. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them down into comments and let me know what you think. Thanks you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Have a nice day.